We are here, ready to rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta after show here on theStreamtv. We are live, so you want to make sure you tweet in all your questions at RHOAAS. I'm one of your co-hosts, Cha-Cha Channon Dade, and I know you can't wait to talk about this episode, but just hold on, start tweeting and tweeting in your questions, okay? Because the Georgia Peaches are back.
Yes, they are.
Woo! Yes. I'm going to start off by introducing my co-host, and I say this lightly, not lightly. I have some of the most talented women on this planet sitting next to me. So I want to start off to my left, my sister, my original sister. I got Nadia B.
Hello, honey. No shades over here.
And to my far right, I have my soror.
Hello.
Megan.
Hi, it's me, Megan Thomas.
And right to my immediate right, I have none other than Shawn Richardz.
With a Z,
That's
is.
Right. All right, let's not hesitate. Let's go right into the first topic because we got a lot to cover.
A lot.
Okay.
Yes.
NeNe. Now, it is said that she is the first celebrity of Zumanity. Now, we all know how we feel about reality stars becoming actors and taking acting gigs. Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Right. She was an actress before. And I gotta give props to NeNe because she don't care about no friendship. She's all about the career. I love her for that.
Okay, I'm gonna be totally honest here. She does not deserve to be the first celebrity in Cirque du Soleil's Zumanity. And the reason I say that is because the word celebrity means to me like you're on a whole different level, like Mariah Carey or
Got some talent.
But there are different levels to celebrity. I mean, we have to give it to her. NeNe has created a whole NeNe brand that no one can take away from.
I agree with you.
And she was an actress before. She had, listen, she might have said I had an under 5 on the Parkers, but she was an actress before.
She's definitely a character.
She, you know, she's definitely a character, and no one can take that away from her.
Yeah.
She's been very smart with her brand.
She has, and she knows that she's been so good that people know how to write for her. When she was on Glee, that role was perfect for her.
Exactly.
And you know what? She is now the highest paid housewife. I think she's been the highest paid for a while.
Sure.
And she is making $1.5 million.
She is
That's
rich.
Okay.
And he has not disputed it, so I think it's true.
And I'll still be a hater, though. Sorry. I'm just going to have to be the NeNe hater here. Because, I mean, okay, I give it to her. Yeah, she did a whole lot with what she had, which wasn't a lot to begin with. She started off as a stripper, and she became something out of nothing. So that, I give it to her. That's a great story. But I think she's at a point where she just feels like she's doing it. And you got to still be humble. And I feel like the humbleness and the humility is gone. If there ever was any there with her, it's out the door now.
I think NeNe's kind of phony because she talks about how she's not a freak and she's shy, and then she's doing Zumanity with orgies.
Right.
Like,
That's true.
I'm sorry. For her to say she's a former stripper, but you're not an angel, but I'm so concerned. Like, girl, you lying.
That was work. That was work, though,
That
Megan.
was work. That was, you know what? I get she has a little bit of a freaky bone and she's trying to be conservative. She's trying to appeal to the masses, okay? That's probably what it is. I don't necessarily know if I believe it. It's good for the camera work, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not going to be a NeNe hater, but I am going to be a little bit of a NeNe congratulator.
Yeah.
She got strategy.
She's on Broadway. She's doing Broadway now, okay? You can't.
Cinderella, right?
Cinderella. She's
But hold on a second. I don't think that's based on her talent. I think it's based on her social media following.
That's
absolutely.
Because you would be stupid not to take somebody who has a couple million followers and put them in your show. I would do the same thing on that alone.
Okay.
Yes, and we all know social media is currency in this business.
Exactly.
But the other housewives are not on anything, so she has to have a little bit of something.
Right.
Yes, she does. I say, don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get. All right, moving right along. Speaking of NeNe and friendships, what about NeNe and Cynthia?
That friendship contract is ripped up, burned, and sent up as confetti and Zumanity, girl. She's moved on. I mean, clearly.
I think NeNe likes someone as long as she can control them, and then as soon as they say something wrong to her is gone. But I don't like that new Cynthia. I think she goes with the win, like NeNe said. Now it's the Kenya win, and then it was the NeNe win.
Right. I think she is a little bit of a flip-flopper, but I think she does that because she wants to keep the peace.
Yeah.
So I think she's more of a peacemaker, and as a result, she kind of doesn't really have a side.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? It can be at times.
I think
She's still a model.
Oh, no, you didn't.
She's a working boss model.
She's a working boss mom. She's been around for a very long time.
Yes.
But I do have to say, I like NeNe's personality. She's got a very strong personality. But Cynthia was definitely her co-star. And when you're not the co-star anymore, and there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
And she's finding her way, probably through this whole thing. She was new to Atlanta, so that's probably another reason why she latched on to
Do you think
NeNe.
that's why she's still on the show, Cynthia?
There's got to be some sort of turmoil there between her and NeNe, and then there's got to be a Peter link.
Yeah, because it feeds her storyline.
It feeds her storyline. She didn't have much of a personality without that, so she probably would have been gone.
And
maybe
now
2
Peter
seasons.
wants to do business with her. What you think about that?
Oh,
Never.
Okay,
yeah.
I will say this. I think,
know.
okay, as husband and wife, I think it's a good idea. Because if this is your family and you guys are on this, you're supposed to be on the same page when it comes to your family's finances.
Okay.
Why not go into business with somebody that knows you and knows you in and out?
Oh.
It is rough because he has had many failed businesses, as we've seen, including Bar One. But she knows these things about them, and I think because everything has been so hard for them and so icky when it's come to their business, I think they've gotten over the hump, and this is the good part now. Now they can learn from the past mistakes and go into business well.
Well, I would just hope they keep a calculator handy, always, because there's always an issue with finances with them. And I'm happy that they're still together as a couple.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go into business with him. He could be the guy that is the front guy because he's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got that look. But as far as finances and dealing with books and numbers, no, boo. No. No, sorry.
He's not the one.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, talking about friendships, let's also talk about the fact of Porsha and Kenya, where they left off from last year, and where that's standing right now.
Wow.
How y'all feel about that?
Wow.
So the big enemies now, Porsha has this sentencing. She has these court troubles, which I think is crazy because Kenya just pushed everybody's buttons last season. So why would you call the cops?
I don't know. I have to say, though, Kenya definitely is the drama queen. When she was explaining how traumatic it was
I forgot
for
it
her.
happened. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I completely forgot it.
crazy.
I know it was a topic that was trending probably for 2 months straight, but to be honest with you, I completely forgot it happened. So
Exactly,
my
true.
thing is, but you got to also think of it this
she
way:
deserved it.
how long can you have someone push your buttons and not physically or do some sort of altercation with them?
Right.
You know what? I don't fault. Okay, so I think Porsha is at fault here because you don't ever put your hands on anyone, no matter what. No matter what
Right.
they. I get
Especially
it.
on camera.
Exactly. It's hard. She's in your face. She put this megaphone in your face. Yes. I would have probably punched her too. But that's not okay.
That's not okay.
It doesn't make it okay. So I think, Porsha was definitely wrong, but now she's getting the repercussions of her actions, and Stanko Kenya is out here able to walk around saying, "Oh, I'm the victim. I'm so traumatized."
But the repercussions for Porsha has been very good financially and professionally because she's got all the gigs. I mean, if you think about it, what has she done since then, and what has Kenya done? Kenya's been the one that was the person that got had the altercation and pressed the charges. But guess what? Where is Kenya?
But of course, Porsha is younger and is beautiful. But we know she was not the smartest.
Yeah, please, let's not do any history lessons with that situation. Okay?
Porsha moments.
But I will say this, I'm not sure if you guys know yet, but it just got released. Porsha is actually going to be doing her own spinoff show.
Yes.
Which is great. So, I mean, I can't
It's benefited. I mean, catfights must do something, right?
Yes.
Because it seems to be that was the running theme, and we thought there was nothing going to happen with her.
Right. Because if they all got along like we do, well, they wouldn't have a show.
But we have a show. But we've got a show. We've got a
Positive
show.
twist
We
on
saw
it.
that little sneak peek of Phaedra assaulting Kenya. So what is going to happen there?
Yeah,
You
well,
see
that's
she's
very
running
true.
through
Very
the table.
true.
I can't
Very
wait
true.
to see.
Right.
Friendships, they come and go, as we see. Now, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about Todd and Kandi and their friendship and now marriage.
They're so cute.
I'm happy. I really want them. I want it to work.
Yeah.
I am also a believer in the Mama Joyce school of men. I have to agree with a lot of things that Mama Joyce said, but
really?
No. I do. My grandmother raised me that way, so I appreciate a lot of. But Todd is a stand-up guy. I mean, you know what? He's a stand-up guy. He's not going to sit around and be a house husband.
Right.
He's been doing things. So, but the raising of the kids. Ooh, I'm Team Todd on this one. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. High five.
Team Todd. I'm Team Todd. Hashtag Team Todd, if you know what I mean. I have no kids, but I agree with him.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Kandi was kind of coming down and saying, you know what, I'm gonna compromise with you. Well, he suggested it, and then she fell along. But Nadia, how do you feel about that?
I am,
thing?
you
How do you
know,
have a little one?
Kandi, I have a son, and I like to spoil my baby. Of course, I think that if I'm blessed, he's blessed, then we gotta share the blessing. And what's wrong with that? They work hard for their money. Why having your daughter run around with a car that could break down or
No,
Break
not a bucket.
You
go.
Those are good cars.
Those are good cars. They get a lot of miles. They get a lot of miles.
It's definitely safer.
She needs to earn up to that. I mean,
Right.
just because you get good grades in school doesn't mean that you all of a sudden are supposed to get a Range Rover. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't go to school to sit around and do nothing.
And I agree with Todd in the fact that yes, she shouldn't get the top of the line of everything.
No.
Even if they have it to give her, they shouldn't give it to Kaela. But I will say this, I disagree with them in the point that they have to compromise on both Riley and Kaela. Because here's the thing, Riley is Kandi's daughter.
And she's always been. She's always,
and it's not fair for her to now go, okay, now that my mom's married, I have to change my lifestyle because my stepfather's daughter can't have what I have. That's not okay.
Would you think that's different if they lived in the same house together, though?
Well, she's about to live
She's
there.
about
and
to
I think
move
that's
there.
why, but I think
But she's also 18.
Right.
Riley's
They're
grown up.
Right.
The thing
So
is, they're already grown up. They're not babies. You can tell them what to do. So I think they should stick to their own kids and not mixing. I wouldn't like someone to come in and tell me how to be a mom.
Okay.
Right, and
to my own
especially
son.
if I'm not sure how their finances are going, but I'm pretty sure they kept their finances separate with Kandi's prenup. So as a result, then they should
But whatever
also-
they make
we all
together
know
now as
about
a
that prenup.
couple, they split.
Right. I don't even know if that's the case, but my whole point is if you raise your child by yourself and this is the agreement that you had with your child,
that's
it
true.
shouldn't change when you get married, especially if your bank accounts are still separate.
I have to disagree with you on that because, especially when a man comes into a household and he's already pegged as this man that's not giving financially, especially by Mama Joyce, you know, he's got to have his forefront. He's got to lay down the rules and regulations a little bit. And you know, Kandi has got to hear that, and
he
so
doesn't
does her
want to
daughter.
seem like a gold digger. Like,
Yeah,
hey, let's get her
right.
whatever, you paying for it. So it's good that he's
Yeah.
I mean,
grounded.
just because he's not making, well, at the time he wasn't making the money that Kandi's making, he still shouldn't be emasculated in that way.
Right,
So
right.
I agree with that, but also at the same time, you know, he is the quote man of the house. So
And
there's
is
got to
he
be
a man? He is such a man.
I can't believe I'm saying this on camera because all my friends know I was so not feeling the whole Todd situation.
Yeah.
Because Mama Joyce was in my ear.
Oh, really?
Mama Joyce must have called me because her and I was so agreeing with her. But listen, he stood, I mean, I have to give him, I really have respect for him.
And it was a great challenge. The fact that Mama Joyce was there and he didn't give up and didn't make
It doesn't seem like
much
she
big
has
drama.
given up.
But
Right,
I
it's
see
been-
drama coming with the moms. Todd mom.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
she's East Coast.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, I can't do it, Mama Joyce.
She's no punk. She
At first, I was with you. I was Team Mama Joyce, but after she started going crazy and blacking out on Kandi's friend, I was like,
Yeah,
Mama Joyce, you gotta
exactly.
go to a home. You don't have to go to I'm sorry.
Mama Joyce, I'm sure she'll be showing up and giving her 2 cents in as well.
Oh yeah, no. She
Absolutely.
will be giving her sense. All
Now,
of her sense.
let's keep in mind if you have any questions, you make sure you tweet us at hashtag RHOAAS. We want to know your questions because at the end of the show, we're going to showcase your questions so you could be one of the featured tweeters. So make sure you do that. Now, speaking of Todd and Kandi, let's get to the nitty-gritty of the show.
biggest topic.
How do you feel about their stance on Kandi's stance on Phaedra and Todd's stance on Apollo as far as how they handled the whole sentencing situation?
I think Kandi was right when she said, okay, if it was my husband, I would have been at the courtroom. I would have been there for him. Right. But I understand why Phaedra made the decisions that she made. That to me is a good friend.
That is a good friend.
You know what? I get why you're saying what you want to say, but I don't feel that way. But I still love you as my friend, and I'm not going to talk bad about you to my husband.
No.
And like belittle
the thing is, you can't judge somebody else's relationship because you don't know that guy being in the strip club all night. Phaedra
This is
home,
the same man that
pregnant.
talked about how much money he invested in the stripper.
Right.
Like, you know, the
Exactly.
strippers, you know, last
Is it
season.
$8 grand, $5 grand a night?
Eight grand. And you got to think about it. I mean, everybody's, you know, kumbaya, I feel bad, and crying and hugging him. But if this was your grandmother's Social Security or pension that he stole, you wouldn't be saying that.
Right.
So I have
Right.
no sympathy. None whatsoever for Apollo.
And
I'm
that's-
very sorry to say that, but I really don't. I don't. And I understand why she kept her kids away from this hearing. This is not something to date. This is not the circus.
Yeah.
We're not going to the circus.
But I disagree with the fact that Phaedra was not there for the sentencing. I don't think she should have taken the kids because they are all too small.
Yeah.
But I think as a woman, when you decide to get married, you are with somebody, the good and the bad, and this is a whole lot of bad. But guess what? You married a felon. You knew he was a felon.
You knew he was a felon.
You knew that. So if you knew that about him, and now you're mad because now you have to bear the brunt of what you knew he did.
Right.
He did. This is not the first time he's had fraud. He
Right.
did fraud before. So you know.
And you
what
got
this man
pregnant
is-
by him before you were
Exactly.
married. Remember that?
Yeah,
Yes.
so because she
Yes.
chose this life, I don't feel like, honestly, I understand why she didn't bring the kids, but she should have been there for the sentencing, even if it was just to be like, I'm glad you're out of my hair for the next however many years. She should have still showed up. She should have still been in that house and let him kiss his kids goodbye. She should have still been there, even though he did her dirty.
She's
That's
better
the
than me.
thing
I would have
about
been
Apollo.
out.
Like
Yeah.
we saw
Sooner.
him during the season. He never wanted to do anything that was family oriented. No family pictures. He never wanted to do any family trip or anything.
You're
So,
right, because
you know,
wasn't he sleeping at the part, or like he wasn't
Exactly.
even like participating at
We
the
knew
birthday
that
party
it was
for one
gonna
of them?
come the end real
Little
soon.
vice
I don't
president or
remember
something?
that one. I missed that
No,
one.
no, you know.
Mr. President, you gonna call the baby vice president?
Vice president. The little one. The little one. The second one is vice president.
No,
And
the little one is
is-
Mr. President.
Mr.
The
President.
first one is what does she call him? Something totally different.
Oh
No,
gosh,
I
it's
think
in my
it's,
mind.
I'm almost positive.
Prince.
No,
It's
she-
like
no,
a
the baby
prince.
baby.
Yeah,
Prince.
it's like
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, you're
Yes.
right, you're right. Okay, well, all the royalty, guess what? I'm not hearing it. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
But
Sorry.
Phaedra is so smart because she kept it very separated, her love and marriage, and then she can bounce anytime. She can bounce and she has her money, her kids, her
Yes.
stability.
Right, but you know what? I think it was true what Apollo
I
ended up
totally
saying,
agree.
which is you didn't marry me for unconditional love. You married me because you had everything except a husband and children, and that is
And a
100%
good-looking
correct.
husband.
A good-looking
Some
husband.
pretty babies. Some pretty babies.
Like Madonna. I mean, all the
Yeah.
powerful women, that's what they want.
That's right.
Right, and he gave her exactly
But
what
men
she
do it all
wanted.
the time, and women can't do it. I mean, powerful men, they
That's
get
true.
women to control all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Props to
Phaedra
Phaedra.
is very smart, and I think she's going to come out of this on top. She's going to take care of these boys, and she's going to produce great citizens to the
Yes.
society.
I love Phaedra.
She's so smart. However, when she goes up against a Stanford grad, shout out to Bob Whitfield and Sue Hardnose. Just want to give that plug. She had a Porsche moment there, but you know she is smart. She is smart. She knows how to handle her business. She's a boss at that.
She is, but I don't know. It just this episode did make me look at her a little bit different because I've always been Team Phaedra when it came to Apollo because he did treat her really, really bad, and it always
The last
seemed like,
season was horrible.
Yeah, I just felt bad for her, but then when I see this, and I'm like, you know what? He has a point,
Yeah.
and so he said
The
a lot of
kids
the
should
stuff.
have. He should have had access to his children.
Yeah.
I
Right,
completely
and
agree.
he definitely, is responsible for his own actions. But what he said was, a lot of this stuff I did because of you. And I'm like, again,
How?
again, here's the thing. He's responsible for his actions.
Okay.
But sometimes when you're with somebody, especially as a man, and you feel emasculated, you'll do things as a result of this woman emasculating you. And I
Right.
feel like there was a ton of emasculation.
You mean
It's true.
overcompensating?
Exactly.
Overcompensating
Yeah.
for
And
it.
so she feels like she has nothing to. She's not in the wrong at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Phaedra, you
more
did
than
some stuff.
For Phaedra, he did it for the viewer, for the fan, for the strippers.
The house. That's
To
the
keep
biggest
that
downfall of all
status.
all the housewives shows
Yeah.
is that you get caught up in this lifestyle.
Yeah.
You didn't have it before, and you were faking
Right.
it to make it. You're funking and faking it.
And a lot of them end up in divorce.
Right.
How many? It's like 20
There's
now.
no
It's
more
about-
housewives except NeNe and
Yeah.
And Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Like,
Oh, that's right.
Phaedra won't be one
talking
anymore. And
about
now
that,
Kandi.
What happened to the new housewives, so-called housewife? I mean, we haven't seen them in the first episode.
I think they're gonna make a bang.
But it's like, but in this day and age, what happened to the women that stood by their men, even the men that did bad? Like, I don't feel like we have that anymore. You know what I mean? These housewives of Atlanta are really not housewives. They're like women who have husbands.
They're no Hillary Clinton, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, I gotta stick with my women because it's hard out there, especially when you know somebody is gonna be gone for 8 years.
Yeah.
You know how it feels to wake up with 2 kids by yourself and just think about someone.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to think about it, you just find somebody else or go on with your life. It's easier.
She's got a lot of weight on her, but I think she's going to be just fine.
yeah.
We are praying for you, Phaedra.
Yeah, she got Mr. Chocolate.
Maybe.
But also she's got her other business. You know, she's going into mortuary. So like we'll see. She'll be a mortician. She's a mortician.
Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly
And for
felt-
animals too. So she's got a whole thing going on.
She's
she'll be
so
fine.
busy.
I honestly felt like Apollo never supported Phaedra, actually. He never was that husband.
He was great for photo ops.
I don't think it was that he didn't support her. I think he just didn't know how. Because when you have such a powerful woman, she's got careers on top of careers, education, and
he doesn't want to be a little
and
puppet.
he's like, I don't have any of this. He probably didn't know what to do.
Well, ladies, we could go on and on and on about this.
You're right. Wheel it in.
We just want to make sure you all know, make sure you hashtag RHOAAS and let us know your Twitter questions because we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to answer some of our fan questions. And make sure you subscribe since you're already on the theStream.tv. Make sure you subscribe and hit that subscribe button. And we'll be right back.
Just in case you missed it live.
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 In case you missed it live, I'm not fake, I'm so real, okay?
Hey, who's excited?
Woo! She's a little superhero slut because she's so. I just pissed everybody off.
She's like such a glamazon. Join the writer team because you are hot.
And I loved it.
That is like tension beyond belief. I found her to be deliciously out of control.
We were all just looked at each other, just like, ah.
So we can assume that you've written letters to inmates before.
Give me the diamonds. I need them for my wife.
Take charge and kill everyone.
This Holocaust coffin!
You were agreeing with me, so I think it was a great point. You know, you can't count anything out.
Yes, yes.
Yes, oh my God.
What's your shoe size? My size.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Oh my God.
Totally.
All right, we're back. Talk about them Georgia peaches. We want to first, before we go into our Twitter questions, we want to first congratulate one of our YouTube watchers, Casper Tame Brain. So thank you so much for watching us and supporting the show. Now, with our first fan question from Twitter. It is from @th33_sunset. Kenya has a new man. Ooh, do you think it is another fraud? Apparently, he's dating Claudia too. Drama's on the way. Actually, he's supposed to be dating Demetria McKinney, who plays on Tyler Perry's House of Pain. So I think there's going to be drama in the beginning, but I don't think Kenya's going to fight over a man. She's going to be done with that once Demetria checks her.
How many times is she gonna fight over a dude?
Yeah, and everybody needs to get the memo whose man is who. Like seriously, there's plenty of men in Atlanta. I'm sorry.
They're not. I used to live there.
Oh no!
The pickings is slim. That's probably why everybody's dating everybody.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think, honey, if you don't got a ring on that finger, that ain't your man.
no, she
Get it
did.
straight. sweet, okay? She always
Everybody's
exaggerating her stories.
Yeah,
so.
she is the drama queen of the group.
Yeah.
She definitely. So, does that answer? I hope that answers your question at 3H33_sunset. Let's go to our next fan question, which is at Moby123, asking, do you think NeNe and Cynthia's friendship will get better or will it head for downfall?
Thumbs up or thumbs down, ladies.
I think thumbs down. I think it's so.
I think NeNe has a bad problem saying I'm sorry and being just humble and just do the first step or whatever. So I think it's gonna be over more on the NeNe side because Cynthia is always like, I'll give it a try, whatever.
But I also saw something different in Cynthia.
Yeah.
There was something very different in her whole demeanor.
Right.
And I also feel sometimes chapters with friendships close.
Right.
Seasons close. I have friends that, chapters have closed. And maybe with the ego and the professional success that certain people have had, maybe they don't feel they need to have this person as their sidekick anymore or their friendship. You know?
And I also think Cynthia has come into her own now that she's got her business up and running. Her and her husband are about to go into business together. And then on top of that, constantly being told that she's just a sidekick.
Yeah.
That she only follows NeNe's coattails. I think that would be enough to make anybody go, you know what? The time is over. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm no longer going to have that title. Let me move on.
No, I fully agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think that when these women show their vulnerability, when they get really real, I think that there's going to be room for them to come back together as friends because they're in this together and they don't really have outside friends outside of the show and they've known each other for so long. I think there's going to be a time, once Cynthia defines herself and establishes her ground, I think there's going to be a time where they do come back together. I hope so because I like them too. I
do,
those two
but I
together.
don't know if NeNe's going to be, I don't know if that's...
I don't know if Cynthia's going to be.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's NeNe and her Cirque du Soleil freak show. Now she's the woman.
Broadway.
She's always rocking it, always rocking it. Okay, well, another question we have is regarding the taglines. What do you think of the new taglines that these ladies have?
I'm so glad there's new ones.
I'm happy they're new ones. I started saying them like in my sleep. I mean, it was a period where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm happy that they actually switched it up,
Right.
And everybody's evolved as a character or a whole person, so they would have to change with them.
And I think they've only changed it one other time in the
one
past 6
other time.
seasons?
No, you're right.
There's only one. So this will be like the second change, which is necessary.
They're not so memorable to me right at this moment.
I agree with you because if you asked me what they were, I would tell you. But you know that it's changed. You know they're different, but you don't. I mean, do you really?
I remember Phaedra talking about she's the judge and she's the truth. I mean, I guess assuming about the court and Apollo, she just want to be totally out of it. She doesn't want to associate with it at all.
The fact that she even used that and said that. That's so funny you said that. I didn't even think about that.
And I think the taglines this year are right on point to exactly where
they're at in their lives, right? Yeah.
I think they're the best taglines ever. And I just want to give a shout out to Kandi because I was tired of seeing her daughter in that little tutu that was coming up.
I love when they had the taglines and then you would see them with their kids and their family like hopping. No, not in this one. There was no family in it. It was just them doing that little pose and stuff.
Me too. We're going to have to watch next week.
Because I was like,
she's right.
Where's everybody's kids? I wanted them to just like jump in.
Yeah, okay. Maybe Riley's outgrown it. Maybe Riley doesn't want to do it anymore.
No, nobody did it. I thought I was going to see the baby.
You didn't see Noelle? You didn't see Noelle? You didn't see Noelle.
It was literally
Yes, you did see Cynthia hugging Noelle.
You did?
See, yeah, it's really quick.
No. I'm talking about the very beginning when they say their taglines and they pose.
Yeah, with the family.
No, now there's no family.
Now there's not that, but they do show photos of
them.
them, like video shots.
Right.
So, but they're
Maybe
really
cut
quick.
the budget,
No, the budget went to NeNe. The budget went to NeNe. NeNe's got that budget.
She's the highest paid.
Listen, the budget went to
Housewives.
NeNe. I'm not playing.
I remember last season her budget was $1 million. And nobody got that.
Nobody.
No other housewife of other city or other state or other country.
Fabulous, darling. That's NeNe
But I'm
for
looking
you.
forward to see Claudia because I did my research and she's half Italian like me.
Yes, she is.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. She is. Her mom's Italian.
Yeah, like real authentic. And the father was like in the Air Force or something.
Yes.
So I think she
She's
got
gonna be in
that
the drama.
flair, that international. I like her, and the girl's always hating on the pretty girl, the new pretty girl.
The new pretty girl. Well,
I'm just hating on her because she's not a wife. Why do we keep having these non-housewives shows?
It's just the wives, the women of Atlanta.
Right, they need to change the name.
She's not an ex-wife.
Wait, who's the house? Well,
She's an ex-wife.
Okay.
She's an ex-wife, yeah. So maybe
She had the
she is an
title.
ex-wife. She is an ex-wife. But you're so funny. You're so right because it's evolved into this whole other thing. I mean,
Yes.
NeNe, thank God she got married back to Greg.
Yes, which I think she's the only housewife to do
And
so.
then NeNe and Kandi and Cynthia.
Are the only
Yes.
married ones.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think the goal probably is for these women to meet husbands, right?
Maybe
maybe
so.
the spotlight, maybe something.
And you
takes
know what,
it to another
ladies?
level.
We can talk about this on and on. But guess what, everybody? You can continue to talk to us throughout the week. Please tweet all the hosts. We want to know what you're thinking of, what bothered you, what kind of questions you have, so we can be ready for next week.
Or if we missed something.
Yeah, if we missed something, let us know. Don't forget to include the hashtag RHOAAS. And we will see you next week. And make sure you subscribe to theStream.tv. They've got some great after shows from The Walking Dead to Scandal. And of course, there's no other than the Real Housewives of Atlanta after show. We'll see you next week. Peaches!
Peaches!